We often think of great leaders as just having a certain skill, right? But what if leadership isn't something you just learn, but something you actually build? Today, we're going to dive into the architecture of great leadership and how to construct it, starting from the inside out.
So let's start with a really important question to just keep in the back of your mind. What is your leadership built on? I mean, really, is its foundation solid? Or is it maybe something you've never really stopped to consider?
Every great structure, every skyscraper, every bridge, it all starts with a blueprint, a detailed plan. Well, for a leader, that blueprint is their fundamental philosophy. It's the core beliefs that guide every single decision they make.
Your entire approach, the way you lead, your style, and your impact, it all comes from one single foundational choice. It all starts with how you fundamentally decide to see the world. Okay, this is where we lay the concrete slab. We're going to explore that one critical choice that really determines if your leadership is going to be strong and resilient, or if it's going to be fragile and just reactive.
In this choice, well, it really boils down to two different starting points. Do you see the world as half empty, always focused on what's missing, the problems, the limitations, or do you see it as half full, focusing on the potential, the resources, and the opportunities?
And listen, this isn't just some motivational cliche. This choice is the literal foundation for everything else you do. It dictates how you look at challenges, how you see your team's potential, and whether you lead from a place of fear or a place of real possibility.
So how does this foundation actually support the rest of the structure? Well, the very next step is to build the framework on top of it. And that's a deliberately crafted positive mental attitude.
Building this framework is an active process. It doesn't just happen. First, you have to consciously choose where to put your focus. Second, you start to reframe those setbacks as opportunities to learn. Think about it. A missed deadline. Is it a failure? Or is it actually priceless data on your team's workflow that you can use to get better? And third, you practice this all the time. It's a deliberate optimism, like a mental muscle you've got to build up every single day.
So here's the crucial point. Your mindset is a direct result of your philosophy. A half-full philosophy just naturally leads to a framework that's always looking for the positive, one that's built for growth and for resilience.
Okay, so the foundation is poured, the framework is up. Now what? What tools do you actually use to build the rest of this thing? Well, the number one tool of an optimistic leader is encouragement.
Encouragement is how you take your internal, positive mindset and turn it into external action. And it's not just about saying, good job. It's about actively inspiring your team, giving them the courage and the confidence to go after big challenges and to truly believe in their own potential.
And this brings us to a really powerful new way of looking at leadership. It's not a title you have or a position you hold. Leadership is the outcome. It's what happens when you apply this entire architecture of optimism to positively influence and guide the people all around you.
Now, let's get the view from the very top of this completed structure. When all these pieces are finally in place, you start to lead from an incredibly powerful perspective, a perspective of abundance. The source material we looked at points to this fascinating idea it calls the abundance of managers. Now, this doesn't mean we need more managers. No, it means having managers who lead from a mindset of abundance.
So what does that mean? It means your default view is one of infinite possibility. You see an abundance of talent in your people, an abundance of opportunity out there in your market, and an abundance of solutions to any problem that comes your way. You're operating from a place of we have enough, not we're lacking.
And there you have it, the whole blueprint. It all starts with that half-full philosophy as your foundation. It's built up with a positive mental framework, and it's put into action with the tools of encouragement. And the result? Leadership that operates from a powerful mindset of abundance, where every single piece supports the next.
So we're going to end right back where we began, but with a new question. Now that you've seen the blueprint, now that you know the steps, what's the very first thing you are going to build in your own architecture of optimism?